Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about 91mm Swiss Army knives with pocket clips. That was a test that I did a good while back in the late 80s. Basically, as I started to exhibit at the Blade Show in Atlanta, USA, I was amazed about all the different knives, the different materials, the know-how that was out there that we didn't have any access in Switzerland at all at that time. So that was one of the tests that I did want to do back then. As I was stuck in Switzerland, I did make a hard living with steelwork, and of course I did use Swiss Army knives every day. They were in a used condition, relatively affordable on the flea markets. I could never buy much brand new ones, but there were plenty supply, and usually the scales were broken off or in a sorry condition. So what we see here is basic 91mm Swiss Army knife. At that time I did favorize the model with the saw blade that gave me more use in the forest environment as I was, compared to the scissor. And as best as I remember, the scissor models were less common and higher priced as well. So we got titanium in better quality, 6Al4V back then, so we could actually bend it or try to bend it into a pocket clip shape and mount it securely on the G10 with a metal inlay, and then put the whole thing together again. Basically it's only the scales, the scales and the clip, of course, with the metal inlay of the screw plate there, which later did evolve in the Victorinox pocket clip there, and the upgraded version that we still at swissbianco.com sell for the 111mm. This also was, I guess, as best as I remember, one of the first knives that we did actually try G10 on it. Back then they only had the smooth variation of the G10. Like companies like Halpen Titanium came up with textured G10 a good while later on, and yeah, the know-how was not there yet that we could actually beat blast that and get a bit more texture out. It's relatively smooth, as we see. It has a satin finish on it, but that how it was back then. We also did not have access to beat blasting back then either, and we did test it out, the beat blasting, with a different company and on Leatherman tool, and some Spyderco knives, as I remember correct. But those people did say they only blast stainless steel, but they did also carbon steel mixed in, so we had red rusty dots after a while on the material, on the metal, that did not go out simply because they messed up in Switzerland. And that's just one of the stories of a lot of stories how that did go in Switzerland. It was simply not worth it for a nickel in regards of making knives back then. So that was a test to have a Swiss Army knife in the 91mm fashion with a pocket clip. Of course, for today's standards, the pocket clip would be too low. I did put it on this part there back then because of the main rivet, the front rivet that we can put in the plate to add the screws. It works. I did carry those knives quite a lot. We see that they are a little bit dirty. I need to clean them prior I put them back into collection. So they saw quite some use, and the tools are still pretty pretty well. Yeah, this one we see a bit. That one needed a bit rework too, so they were used knives that had maybe 80% life left in it, and that I got for a price. And yeah, we see it even has the crossbow on it, that old over-stamped model it is. The crossbow there looks a bit like umbrella. That did fool the people with the cross on the left side below the crossbow there. That stamp is gone a long time already too, and the other one has the same one. Hopefully the camera see it. So that is another item of the past. Those models I'm not gonna bring to the shows or to the exhibitions that I do, so that is quite likely the only chance to ever see or know about it. Those did also not get sold. They were only 2 pieces that I did for myself because it was pretty expensive and labor intensive to make those items back then in Switzerland. Terrible conditions that I had to work in for a long time. So that much about the history of the 91mm pocket clip and G10 scaled Swiss Army knives.